have the top 100 available free agents. Number 1 on the list and number 2 on the list, massive college stars. Cowboys want nothing to do with either of them, Leonard Floyd and Jadeveon Clowney. I guess Clowney could be interesting if the price is absolutely right. Both of those gentlemen now 30 years old. Life comes at you fast, Chief.
Woo! Yeah, Clowney, I don't even know what the numbers look like for him. Maybe, yeah, in a perfect contract situation, no risk kind of deal.
Yeah.
He'd be a guy that might be worth it, but otherwise,
why does it seem like every year we talk about him?
He's had such a weird career.
He's had a really weird career, and if you be one of those guys or gals that evaluated the draft, and you're like, oh, he was my number 1 guy, and it just seems like it's been a career of. There's been some really nice moments, but the last 4 or 5 years, we're always talking about him in veteran minimum.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been about, wow, you can plug this guy in and he could be a difference maker. And it seems like every time he gets with a team, it's half a sack, 1 sack,
Not a full-on bust, but he never became the sack guy that people thought he would, I guess.
Including me.
He was a better run defender, honestly, than he was a pass rusher.
But the headline is Cowboys will not ignore the free agent market to find help at wide receiver. Those are your first 2. Number 3 is Frank Clark. If you're looking for some edge help, he's 30 as well. They don't want Isaiah Wynn, the offensive tackle. Shaq Griffin, Marcus Peters, couple of corners there in the top 10. But number 7 on the list, just to give you an idea of the quality here, is Cameron Fleming. Number 8's Ron Derby. Look at number 9, Yannick Ngakoue, only 28 years old. Number 10 is Zeke. That just ain't right. I don't know who's doing this list, but pretty clear he's washed up. Let's find some wide receiver help here. Jarvis Landry is the top-ranked wide receiver, at least on this list at NFLTradeRumors.com, the 16th best free agent. Jarvis Landry, 30 years old. I think he could be a good, possession type of wide receiver, but I don't think he's going to run the precise type of routes. Based on what I know about Jarvis Landry, I don't have any interest in him helping a Mike McCarthy offense. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'd rather just go ahead. If you really wanted to add to the receiver room, you call back up T.Y. Hilton. I'd bring in T.Y. before I did Jarvis.
I think I would as well. And he works inside the slot. He's never been fast. This is probably as slow as he's ever been, and he's never been very fast. I would say the best thing he does is probably find a soft spot in his zone and catch a 7-yard pass and make it a 7.5-yard pass.
Kenny Galladay sitting there as another wide receiver, 29 years old. He got washed up in a hurry. I think he's.
Did he have 40 receptions last year though, or something?
Kenny Galladay
he never scores touchdowns anymore.
No, he had that one amazing year for the Lions, and he torched the Cowboys one game at AT&T Stadium. I mean, it was Cheeto. That he just. I mean, it was contested catches. He'd find a way to make some unbelievable plays on the football. Kenny Galladay is interesting to me.
Last year, he totally fell out of favor. Last year was 6 catches. The year before that was 37.
Okay,
I thought
there was a year.
He was horrible with the Giants. They didn't want to play him, but it changes scenery. You're talking about maybe your 4th option.
Is Landry, and then I circle back, is Landry not better than T.Y. Hilton?
He's not faster.
I mean, he's not faster, but do you feel like
I don't think so. And I thought T.Y. played pretty well for you last year, and him and Dak seem to really have a good rapport with one another.
Yeah, Jarvis Landry is a get me the ball guy. I just don't know that he is the wide receiver that Dak needs.
Maybe I'm capping for an LSU guy or something.
I think so.
Probably.
Okay, Kenny Galladay, 27. Now, all we have to do is get better than Jalen Tolbert and Simi Fehoko, right? So this shouldn't be hard. Every name I've mentioned is better. It's an upgrade to the wide receiver room. If you get Galladay, if you get Jarvis Landry.
Until Tolbert turns into a decent player.
I'll tell you what,
I think they're going to wait out Cedrick Wilson just inevitably getting cut by the Dolphins.
You
think
they're going to cut him?
That's not inside. Like, I don't, just because my dad really loves them, I don't have that inside information.
Come on, you're our Dolphins insider.
I'm just getting to a point where it's like, I don't think anybody's trading
What's
from
Chris Greer going to do down there? Tell us,
I think he's going to end up just punting on Cedrick Wilson. They keep saying, like, we want to do right by him. Like, ultimately, the only right thing you can do is
send
just
him back
be
to
released.
Dallas. That'd be doing right by him,
Julio's on this list at age 34. I don't have any interest in that. And, once you get to the Julio Jones part, you're just a skip and a jump from DeMarcus Robinson, Brian Pringle, N'Keal Harry, and Laquan Treadwell.
And they brought in Treadwell. They worked him out.
Yeah, I think T.Y. Hilton, of all those veteran guys, I think he would be the one that I would most want because at least he has a speed dynamic to him.
Sure.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
Yeah,
And
and
you saw it
you've
for a
seen-
few
yeah.
weeks.
Right,
Yeah.
and Demarcus Robinson is one, too, that can run a 9 route, go get the football if you wanted to add some speed. But, yeah, these aren't really tickling or fancy.
It's slim pickings, man. I think it's sort of going to end up being Cedrick Wilson or bust. Maybe they dip back into the T.Y. Waters once the season gets going, but they're just banking on these guys on their roster stepping up.
Well, let's talk about how much cap space they have if they were interested in adding somebody to the roster. We go to Blogging the Boys. They did a story on it. Even after signing the draft class, they're going to have a pretty decent knot of cash, aren't they? They sit at 16.6 right now. The rookies are going to count for 4.8 against the cap, leaving the Cowboys with a little under 12 mil to work with. And that right there could do a signing for, a $10 million a year player, or you could backload something. I mean, you could get a lot of stuff done with 12 mil. I don't want to sign any of these free agents, Brian, though. I want to take this with me into the season for trades.
Always have to be careful. Our show gets listened to a lot over there. And so if the minute you start talking about, a lot of cap space, I get the, we have no cap space.
Okay.
Be quiet. No, I haven't got that text yet. But you know what I'm saying? They always earmark it for emergencies and deals they've got coming up.
They usually carry like 5 or 6 with them into the season.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they spend this before we get to Oxnard, but it's great to know that whether they want to take that 12 mil and put it towards 2024 or they need to make a trade, they have more than enough space to absorb a pretty dang good player or two.
Do you feel like, though, when we get to Oxnard and we're sitting on the tennis court that they're going to give us a signing of somebody?
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Is it
Diggs?
Diggs is going to get the
Lamb. Yeah, see, that's where the money's going to go. It's going to go to the extensions for Diggs or Lamb. It's probably going to be Lamb. I think it's CD. CD was kind of, he didn't want to say it, but he was hinting like there might be something in the works ready to rock.
Interesting. I was thinking it would be more likely to be Diggs because he hits the market. There's no fifth-year option. Like, they're going to play that game.
Well, it goes back to what Brian was telling us.
It
I think
ain't
Lamb's
easy,
a little bit
man.
easier to get done than Diggs is.
Well, they would have drafted Joey Porter Jr. if they felt like Trayvon Diggs was
unless they didn't think he was a scheme fit.
Yeah, Diggs ain't going anywhere, though.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
line,
He should be going everywhere.
Scheme specific on that player.
Yeah, that's such a bogus line from the NFL right there. That kid's a stud.
But wait, there's more, writes Blogging the Boys here on this cap space story. After June 1st, the release of Ezekiel Elliott will become effective from a cap standpoint. They're going to pick up another 10.9 in space. So, again, probably just Diggs and Lamb, but options are sitting in front of this team if they would actually like to finish the fight and build a complete offensive line for the first time in 7 years. I'm waiting for it.
I would love that. And a texter did just write in about the Broncos having a lot of guys. And we know about the relationship with Sean Payton, but a lot of wide receivers. They just added Marvin Mims to it. They have Hamler, they got Judy, they got Sutton, and they got Tim Patrick, who was going in for a breakout type year, and then he tears his ACL in training camp.
I think Tim Patrick had 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys.
In 22?
Yeah.
Yeah, or 21.
Yeah, and it was at AT&T Stadium. It might have been Thanksgiving. I don't know what the hell it was, but he torched the Cowboys. Tim Patrick's interesting, but they did call about Judy last year at the deadline.